Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dinosaur Gamer, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys my overall review of the Outer Rim DLC pack for Star Wars Battlefront. So let's just hop right into this. Now, they released 4 maps which are called Palace Garage, Solo Sub Refinery, Solo Sub Pipelines, and Jabba's Palace. Now, all these maps are great for close quarters. I have nothing against them. I play on all of them, and honestly, Jabba's the Palace seemed one of the better maps. And so was Solo Sub Refinery. Those maps I actually really enjoy playing. I really enjoy playing Blast and Extraction on. Now, my biggest complaint about this DLC is the fact that this was only a close quarters map, which means that you can only play game modes like Blast, Heroes vs. Villains, and the new mode Extraction. You can't play games like Supremacy, Turning Point, or Walker Assault, which for me was really disappointing since I am one of the people that pretty much play Walker Assault and Supremacy all the time. Now, so this was a little bit disappointing, and people who are like me and only play the larger game modes will also find this pretty disappointing. Especially, I mean, like, cause I honestly had no idea until like it finally came out. And I had the season pass, so like I already bought it pretty much. So I was a little bit disappointed to see that this map did not include maps from my favorite game modes. So other than that, that's probably like one of my biggest concerns and cons about this DLC. So yeah. So those are the maps. Like I said, they're great for close quarters. I honestly have nothing against them when it comes to close quarters. I just feel like they probably should have added larger game modes. They should have applied all the maps to every game mode. That's at least what I expect from a DLC. But that was not the case for Outer Rim. So, you know, those of you who have not bought this yet, or who haven't even, it's not even out yet, I guess, to some people, if you're one of those people who likes the larger game modes, then I don't know if this DLC is the right path for you, whether you should buy or not. So let's go on to the game mode, Extraction. For those of you who don't know what Extraction is, pretty much the rebels have this crate that they are trying to deliver, and it goes throughout the whole map. It's like, honestly, it's kind of like it's like a mini version of Walker Assault, except you don't like activate any, you don't activate any of these, I guess, little jammers. It pretty much just goes throughout the whole map. The Imperials try to stop the crate, and the Rebels try to keep it going throughout the whole map. And the Rebels get to their destination, they win. Overall, I do like it. It gives another objective-based game mode for the smaller modes, which is awesome. I do believe that objective-based games are some of the best game modes, and I have no problems with it. The only slight problem I found is the fact that a lot of people use the Dioxis grenade and Flash grenade and just chuck it at the crate, knowing that tons of people are going to be there, so it can get a little bit frustrating. But other than that, I have honestly no complaints about the game mode. I think it's awesome. So let's go on to the heroes. This is probably my biggest concern with the DLC. The fact that I know a lot of people somewhat agree with this. The fact that they added Greedo and Mia Nub is quite lazy, considering the fact that their faces are pretty much already in the game. And you know, that seems a little bit lazy on their part, and not to consider their abilities. Some of them are actually already in the game, and they just put them on a hero. I know we didn't get much of their abilities from the game, but I feel like they could have definitely gone a different direction than the one they went in. So for those of you guys who don't know, messing up, Greedo, for instance, his ability, one of his abilities is a scan pulse, and another one is the ability to cycle through grenades. That's already in the game, so it's a little bit disappointing to pick him and then already have those abilities. I feel like one of the big purposes of being a hero, besides having, like, if you're like Leia having the E11, besides that, having abilities that are already in the game is a little bit disappointing, especially for a hero. I totally get that neither one of them were in the movies that long, so none of them really had any abilities that, like, they could have honestly just got from the movies. But still, the fact remains that they just ripped them off from the game itself, and that's just a little bit lazy on their part. I feel like they could have honestly just made stuff up instead of just pasting stuff in the game. Now for Nia Nub, his abilities are putting a turret down, like one of those turrets that are already in the game. The infantry ones, not the vehicle ones. And then pulling out a pulse cannon, which I cannot stress this enough. The fact that it recharges, I think within like 5 seconds, is really bad, just because of how much camping I've seen from him. It is probably the worst, just if somebody's Nia Nub on the new Graveyard of Giants, which is the Battle of Jakku map. If you play like a large mode game on that, you will most likely find him just sniping away, and just using it, because it honestly just recharges so fast that it's honestly a little bit ridiculous. It's more of like that's his main weapon, and he just takes one shot and just has it back. And his other ability is to call in an orbital strike, which again I feel like is just a little bit lazy, considering the fact that that's already in the game. If I want to be a hero, I want to have something that's a little bit different. But so that's the heroes. Like I said, I mean, I get Greedo just because he was in that place and he is a villain. And there's not many villains in the original trilogy that they already haven't added. But to put Nia Nub, there are quite a lot of heroes. There is Chewbacca, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Lando, but Lando's most likely going to go to Bespin, I would think. So I feel like he is like the last person anybody honestly expected. So yeah, those are the heroes for you guys. And I think one of the best things they did with this game, with this DLC, is adding hut contracts. These things are awesome. It gives you kind of incentive to play the game a little bit. So those of you guys who don't know what hut contracts are, for all the DLC items, you pretty much have to do these challenges in order to get them, which are they're pretty much contracts. And for any of you guys who played Black Ops 1, it's a little bit like that. You unlock them using credits, and then it gives you a challenge, and then once you complete the challenge, you get the DLC item. I find this amazing just because, like I said, it gives you incentive to play, and I just find it awesome. Now, hopefully what they can do is find a way to implement this in the game for other stuff. Like I said, it's going to be kind of hard since there isn't, like, you can't, like, unlock customizations, and to a certain extent, like, getting credits is kind of pointless. So hopefully they can add more stuff where credits for these contracts can actually be useful, and that'd be awesome, because this is an awesome idea, and I really enjoy it a lot. So yeah, now let's talk about the weapons. The weapons are the DLX and DLT-19X, the DL-18, the DT-12, and the Relby V10. None of these weapons like really wowed me overall. None of them really made me want to switch either from my E11, A28, or EE3. I found that none of these weapons really competed with them, though I do like how they added the DLT-19X, which is a sniper pretty much. So I do like how they added a little bit of variety between the blasters. But the DL-18 and the DT-12 are just pistols. I didn't find anything really special about them. And the Relby V10, I did find it a little bit interesting. The way it works is kind of interesting. It's one of those guns that its fire rate kind of depends on you. If you shoot fast, it can be pretty good. So it's kind of like it shoots as fast as you can pretty much pull the trigger, basically. It's one of those type of guns. So those are the guns. Like I said, none of them really wowed me and made me want to switch from using my E11 or A28 or EE3, what I think is probably the best, what are the best blasters in the game pretty much. So none of those guns really made me want to switch from those. Now let's go to the, I guess, star cards. So they added the Scattershot, Dioxis Grenade, and Adrenaline Stim. And honestly, I think these are all great. Each one is awesome. The scatter shot is great, though I did find it a little bit like the scout pistol pretty much, except you don't need to be as precise, and you can only use it at close range. So I mean, I have nothing against that. I did think it was actually pretty cool. And the Dioxis grenade is actually really cool. It's pretty much just a poisonous grenade that has a pretty good it like just goes poison and just spewts poison through a pretty good radius actually. It can be really helpful in certain situations, like if there's a lot of people near like an objective and you throw that, it will definitely disperse them. So that it's actually pretty good, pretty clever. This is actually one of the ones I actually use on my regular character. And the last one is the Adrenaline Stim. And this one's actually pretty good. So if you guys don't know what it is, it's like a fast healer pretty much. It just, once you use it, it just like regenerates you up to 100. So this is actually pretty good. It gives something to compete with the shield, though I still use the shield just because it's overall more protective than the Adrenaline Stim. Though the Adrenaline Stim is very helpful. If you use this in a 1v1 situation, you're pretty much guaranteed to win, especially if they don't have it. So I do like all the star cards that they added. They're all pretty cool. So this is my overall review of the DLC. I hope you guys did enjoy and this gave you input. That's great. If you did like this review, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.